What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Saints9283 here, welcoming you guys back to the channel with another movie review. And this time it's a double movie review. And today's films that we are going to be reviewing for you today is the newest expansion in the Marvel Cinematic Universe for Ragnarok, and the latest in the infamous Saw franchise, Jigsaw. And joining with us via, well, mobile device is Mr. Gamelord and I. Say hello.
I am God!
That you are definitely not. And, well...
Kneel before me, for I am God, also known as Saw, and on weekends, Doug.
Okay, and as our usual movie reviews, there will be absolutely no or minimal, or the least spoilers that we can for this. And so if you guys want to see it for yourselves, you'll go into the movie unspoiled. And without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, if you do want to keep seeing these movie reviews in the future, don't forget to smash the thumbs up. So without further ado, let's dive straight into the first movie of our double review for Ragnarok. And honestly, Gaylord, we'll go to you first. What did you think of the movie?
Well, I thought it was exceptionally brilliant. It was about the best Thor franchise, which I find the first two lacking.
Yeah,
It was funny. It was lighthearted. Bit of gore for a Marvel film.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised actually as to how much like gore was actually, well, not gore like Saw, which we'll get into a little bit later, but for a comic book movie, which is what it is, for a Marvel movie, it is surprisingly out there.
Yeah, 'cause when it comes to gore and blood and Marvel, I've always associated it with the TV shows.
Yeah, like,
It's been a bit more free with that sort of stuff.
yeah, and I have to say that the cast of this film did a superb job. I mean, honestly,
They
this,
all got exceptionally great screen time. They all had their own moments.
yes, exactly.
They had their own effects.
I mean,
The
no,
animation was brilliant.
yeah, I mean, no character was left out. They all had a standout moment for each person, which I kind of
think
liked.
we can agree that the best character in the entire film was Doug.
That's called. Oh yeah, that's the Rock character, isn't it?
No, Doug. I you remind me of old Doug.
Oh yeah, I remember now. Yeah, but so if you guys don't know, Thor Ragnarok is about Thor trying to prevent, well, Ragnarok, or what is known in Asgardian culture as the end of days, the end of everything, basically, the end of Asgard. And to do that, he must defeat Hela, the goddess of death, played superbly by Kate Blanchett. But honestly, I think that two people stole the show from me. That being Loki, obviously, and Hulk, actually.
Hiddleston was brilliant. Hiddleston and Ruffalo, I agree.
Yeah, I mean, this was probably Hiddleston's best performance.
Yes. Not to mention, I think it was Hopkins is funny.
Yeah, I kind of liked Anthony Hopkins because, well, honestly, the first two Thor films he didn't really act that good in, if I'm honest. It's sort of like he was half-assing
No.
it.
Not to mention the simple fact in the first one he just growled.
Yeah, and in the second one, he didn't really get that much screen presence, and when he did, I was kind of taken out of it. But this
Yeah.
I honestly kind of enjoyed watching Anthony
Not to
Hopkins in.
mention, I think it was funny when Thor returned home and you're at Hopkins just eating grapes. The first thing he said is, "Oh shit!"
Yeah. Well, not even spoiler, so. What was I going to say? It's not a spoiler because it was in the trailers, but I think they set up Thor's, like, weak point superbly. I mean, if you didn't see the trailer, then you wouldn't notice, but if you have, then basically Thor loses his hammer. And honestly, that's a perfect setup for, like, him to be, like, weakened.
More like it humanized them.
Yeah, it'd be like Tony Stark as Iron Man, but everyone destroyed his armor.
Basically, Iron Man 1, Iron Man 3.
Yeah, basically. But one thing I have to say as well is that the soundtrack to this movie was actually very good, actually.
Well, it doesn't compete with Guardians of the Galaxy, which has the best soundtrack in the MCU.
Yeah, but I don't think it's as good as Suicide Squad if we're going like all comic book movies.
Yeah, I was going MCU,
But MCU, yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy, and honestly, people say that this is like Guardians of the Galaxy with like the comedy and all. I think this is better.
Well, I wouldn't say it's better. Though I also wouldn't compare it with Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, I guess you could put it like that. But I never liked the first Guardians of the Galaxy, and yet I liked the second one, which is strange. No pun intended.
Yes.
But honestly, and even the end credits, like as you know, Marvel always puts like end credit scenes and all.
They're perfectly set up for next Infinity War.
Yeah, which we're definitely going to review because it's probably going to be one of the biggest movies of this decade, actually.
I think it'll be one of the biggest films of the century.
Yeah, probably because you
and
know.
Still waiting for Captain Marvel.
Yeah, we're all waiting for that. Don't worry, we don't have long to wait next year, so that should be fun. And you know, enough dawdling. Let's give our final verdicts on this one, and then jump into Jigsaw. So, what would you give for Ragnarok out of 10?
9.
A 9, really?
Yeah.
Okay, good. That's an interesting one. Honestly, I'm not too sure. A 9. Is it as good as Wonder Woman? That's my question. If I'm to give it a 9, is it as good as Wonder Woman?
I wouldn't associate them with each other.
Good point. You know what? I'd agree with you. I'd give it a 9 out of 10 as well. If you haven't seen it, go check out Thor Ragnarok. We highly recommend it. It really is that good. I mean, even if you're not a fan of Thor, you will love this film. I mean, I didn't even like the first 2 Thor films. Gaylord here didn't like the first 2 Thor films. Well, we didn't hate it. We didn't enjoy it.
No, I did, yeah.
You hate it? Okay.
The first 2 just couldn't stand them.
And yeah, so 9 out of 10 for Thor Ragnarok. Go check it out. And now on to the next movie. Now for our second film, Jigsaw, which is the 8th or 9th film of the Jigsaw franchise.
Yeah.
Thank you, because there's so many Saw movies these days. I mean, it's just hard to keep track on. And even the plot as well, for this one, is a bit hard to track unless you're with... Because you keep on looking at lore stuff. But honestly, I
just wanted to put out there, I figured like the ending, like 20 minutes before the film ended, I don't know, maybe it's my overactive imagination, but I knew exactly how it was going to end, just in my head.
And if I'm honest, I think we were both entering this film, like when we first went in to see it, with mild expectations. I
was going in with low expectations. I didn't expect this to be good, because in my opinion, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 all sucked.
Yeah, and I saw the reviews for this, and they were like really low. I mean, as of recording, Rotten Tomatoes has it in 42%.
Yeah, which is good for a horror film, because let's be honest, reviewers don't like horror films.
Yeah, exactly.
All horror films are bad.
And yet they love
it. Mostly isn't about a story. It's about being scared and having a good time.
And with that in mind, I actually was rather surprised by Jigsaw, as I think you were as well. We really enjoyed this film, which is actually kind of surprising because, again,
I'm glad they didn't do the ridiculous, like, after Saw 3, they started doing all these ridiculous tracks.
yeah.
But they started, because this one
Yes, that's what kind of threw me off, like watching the other Saw films, because I from their trailers you could see all their like, it's just become a bit too Looney Tunes, a bit too cartoonish. This one, however,
like they all got ridiculous. It was atrocious.
this one keeps things simple, and it actually improved on the gore quite a lot. I mean, you could call it like in a way, it's sort of like a reboot of Saw One, I think.
Yeah, there was one thing I think we both struggled to watch with the needles.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, if you get squeamish very easily, then this film might not be for you. If you don't like the sight of blood, if you don't like all like really gory stuff, then this film might not be for you. But if
Well,
you're
it didn't have much gore, but when it did have gore, it went all right.
yeah, it didn't have a lot of gore, but when it had gore, it really went all out.
It also was filled with a lot of nostalgia, like that bit in the studio with all the traps. That was amazing.
Yes, and once again, the who do you call the actor who plays Jigsaw?
Tobin Bell.
Tobin Bell. Once again, does a fantastic job as the Jigsaw killer, John Kramer.
He's a brilliant actor, and he perfects it. He's not a killer. The way he portrays John Kramer isn't technically a murderer.
Yeah.
And he's also a fella who has convictions. He believes in what he's doing. He gives everybody a fair chance, and if you screw up, it's your own fault. He believes everybody is responsible for their own actions. And he betrays the character with such magnificence. It's like Anthony Hopkins is Hannibal Lecter. I mean,
You can compare him to that.
He isn't a Thor. He isn't a Moriarty or a Lecter. He's just an average Joe.
Yeah, an average Joe who was misdiagnosed with cancer, and yeah, you can get if you do know the Saw mythos, if you will, then you'll probably know a lot about it already.
One thing that surprised me was there was no mention of there's Jigsaw's third accomplice, Mark Hoffman from the film The Fourth, Fifth, and Eighth films.
Yeah, I was surprised by that as well. I mean, I thought they would have like at least one mention of him, but no.
Because they never caught him, but he was caught technically. The way it was that Jigsaw's fourth apprentice, Dr. Lawrence Gordon, who was a survivor from the first film, would be recruited by Jigsaw, and he would execute Mark Hoffman if he were ever to cheat the game.
Yeah.
And he was locked in cellars in the first film at the end of the last film, but the police were still hunting him, so I'm surprised they didn't think he was the new killer.
Yeah, and yeah, I was kind of surprised about that as well. And obviously, with the Saw films, the score as well, the iconic song is still like in there, which come on.
Also has my new favorite line.
Yeah, I mean, even if you're not a fan of the Saw, even if you're not a fan of the Saw films, you gotta love that wee score. Like that happens like
The music is always been brilliant.
yeah, I mean like even the like iconic score at the end.
The isolation that the other films didn't have.
Mm.
That barn, it was just a small place. Like that's what I liked about the first two films. Well, the first film, you were just stuck in one room for the majority of the film.
Yeah.
And then the second film, it was just a house. This film, it's the barn. And it's just small and isolated.
Yeah, that's what I love about these films. You get a sense of like cramped isolation, like from like the areas. I mean, that were they like do the challenges or the games.
Also has some pretty cool traps. This one did.
Yeah, actually, I was actually surprised about how well the traps actually were. I mean, even the start had me a little bit on edge.
Yeah, the first Saw. There were two traps that stood out in my mind. It was, you know the one that spins around, they use the bike engine?
The wee fruit I'll call it the fruit blender.
I just call it the shish kebab.
I call it the blender because that's what it was. Yeah, and I'm guessing the other one was like a nostalgia one, the needles.
No, I hated that. No, I didn't hate it. It just terrified me.
You couldn't even look at it.
The barbed wire, no, not barb, the wire trap, while the others were in the barn silo.
Ah, the one with his leg. Ah, yes, I get you now. The traps were really well done in this one, and I'm honestly surprised.
That was the acting.
Yeah, the acting in the Saw films were never really, apart from John Kramer, they weren't really much to like boast about. But this one, I'm surprised. I really did enjoy the acting, and I basically enjoyed everything about this movie. Honestly, there wasn't.
My only complaint was the very last kill. Just it looked too animated.
Yeah, I mean, if it kept things more simple instead of going all high tech and all, then it probably would have been better. But apart from that,
yeah, I like makeup effects are far better.
Yeah.
Because that's how the majority of makeup effects. I think that last thing was practically the most digital they used.
Yeah, but did that actually take away from the overall experience of the film, or?
No.
Nah, I don't think so either. I think, all in all, this film was actually quite enjoyable, actually. If you're a fan of gore, if you want a horror film to watch, like,
it's a very good suspense film. It would also be a thriller.
Yeah, if you want a good horror/thriller film, then go check this out. However, if you want a straight horror film, I recommend either this or probably It. Anyways, now time for the final verdict. What would you give Jigsaw out of 10?
I'd give it a 7.
A 7? That's actually a good score for horror films, bear in mind. I'd give this a 6 out of 10. Slightly above average. If it,
Well, the average horror film is 3.
Yeah, I mean, that's how good it is. That's how good this film actually really is. And we encourage you guys to go out and check it out, support it, so we can get more stuff like this. And that's our reviews of Jigsaw and Thor Ragnarok. What did you guys think? Do you agree with us? Do you disagree with us? Leave your thoughts in the comments down below. And with that, I'm afraid it's now time to end today's video. I hope you guys did enjoy it. If you did, please smash the thumbs up button. Subscribe if you're new to the channel, and if you're not new, don't forget to turn on the post notifications so you never miss any of our videos. And closing thoughts, Game Lord.
I am God.
And until then, guys, as always, peace.